Tonight we have red-blue Marco versus red-purple Luffy. Let the battle begin. Alright folks, the first night of Friday Night Fights, I'm on the red-purple Luffy leader card. It's a little bit upgraded, but it's pretty close to the pre-con deck. I played a Jinbei for 2 Dawn, and now it's my opponent's turn. He's playing Marco, and his first play is Namule, which is a 5,000 power attacker. It's my second turn, going up to 4 Dawn. Going to swing at my opponent here with my leader before I do anything else. Pretty good idea, yeah. See if your opponent counters out of your first swing, especially since Luffy is a 6,000 power leader instead of the normal 5, so it takes a 2k counter to get out of my attack. And then I follow up with a rush character, so this is the Rush Zoro, so I swing another 6,000, and he has to take that one. Alright, it's my opponent's turn. He has his leader and another attacker, so he's filling out his board. He's probably going to add some more to the board here. See what it is. He's got quite a few cards to choose from there. And he's going to add a Atmos to the board. So, pretty new players. So we're just reading all of our cards, making sure we know what's going on. He has bounced my Jinbei back to my hand. And now he's moving into attack with his leader. The Marco leader, when attacking, if you attach 1 Dawn, you can draw a card, then place the card from your hand on the top or the bottom of your deck and give one of your opponent's characters. I think it's like minus 2,000 power for the turn. And so that really hurts me trying to counter or save my character. So my Zoro goes down in a blaze of glory. And I counter out of his leader attack against my leader. Alright, going up to 6 Dawn here. Got a few plays I'm thinking about in my hand. I'm just going to swing again at his board. See if he counters out of it. He does save his character. And now I'm going to do another tricky play. Play a Rush Sanji here, and then swing again at his rested character there. So reason I did that is I got a counter out of his hand before he knew my follow-up play. So if he had known I was going to play another Rush character, he probably wouldn't have saved his character. But he has played an Edward Newgate, which is a problem. It's a 8,000 power attacker, and he still has enough Dawn left over to his Marco tricks again. So he's shrinking my Sanji and then attacking. So that's pretty rough for me. And then he's swinging directly at me for 6,000, so I need another 1k counter, which I promptly counter out of his attack. So I'm going up to 8 Dawn here, and so I'm going to use my leader ability to finally get my ramp going. I haven't seen any ramp this game, which is kind of sad. His board's pretty heavy, so I play out 2 blockers, and then I'm going to swing in at his character. Try to hurt his board a little bit. Alright, 10 Dawn turn for my opponent. What will he throw at me? That Newgate is still a problem. Like I said, Marco can shrink my blockers or shrink my characters, so... Alright, he follows up with his own blocker, Marco, which has a kind of like a Rise from the Grave, Phoenix from the Ashes, Rebirth effect. If he dies, discard a card from your hand to bring him back to the board, rested position. So kind of a pain to get rid of. And he plays out a King Dew. It's another character she can use. Now he's doing his tricks with his Marco again, shrinking my wire and drawing and putting cards on the bottom this time. Okay, not sure what he bottomed there, but now he's swinging a counter out of his leader swing there, and now I'm against a full board of attackers. So it's my 10 Don turn. So I do have a 10 cost Luffy with Rush. So this is a pretty fun character. If he activates a blocker, I can KO one of his other characters that's 8,000 or less power. So newer player, so he kind of didn't realize if he used a counter card he has to pay for them. So I'm able to take out his blocker, and I'm able to take out his Newgate there, Whitebeard, but he is going to discard a card to bring back his Marco, I do believe, or maybe he didn't. I guess he forgot about that ability. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. He's got another blocker. He's shrinking my Luffy here. Just counting up how much Don he has to throw at my Luffy. So he's swinging a whole heap, and I use my blocker because, well, that's what he's there for. Thank God for that blocker. He swings at me, I counter out of it, and it's my turn once again. My hand's pretty light at this point. I'm kind of running out of cards. So one bad thing about the red-purple deck is you don't really draw a lot of cards. So I start off swinging directly at his face, and I'm probably gonna try to take out his board. Following it up with a Eustace Captain Kidd, 8,000 power attacker. And then I also have another Zoro, which I swing. He chooses to block. This time he remembers his Marco effect, and he brings it back from the grave by discarding a card. Alright, so the tables have turned now. I'm in a pretty commanding position, and my opponent is definitely on the back foot here. But he does have a blocker and another one. He's got another Marco. I think he's drawn 3 of his Marcos. Crazy. And then he also has a Rush character here with a Jozu. And now he's up to his normal shenanigans with his leader, drawing a card, then putting it on the top or bottom. He doesn't have any cards in hand, so he's just pretty much deciding if he wants to put this on the top or bottom. Looks like he goes for the bottom. He's going to shrink one of my characters, my Zoro this time, and then he's taking him out with his Jozu. So, oh, now I've got 2 blockers to contest with. And like I said, my hand is 1 card here, and it's if I remember, it's just a counter card. Alright, so I'm starting things off with attacking with my Eustace Captain Kidd. Oh wait, no, I changed my mind now. I'm going with my my Luffy here, because if he does block, I can blow up one of his characters. And since he doesn't have any cards in the hand, he can't bring them back. Now I swing in with my Eustace Captain Kidd, and I do the little Don trick to pump up my leader by 1,000. Then I activate my leader's ability to get my Don back. And then I swing, and he's one hit away from death. Now the reason I left one Don active is I do have a counter card in my hand, so I can try to counter out of his attacks. Especially if he tries to take out my characters, because I'd like to keep them around. And my Luffy is 7,000, I think, for... So he's got another blocker here. No, a Fosa blocker. He has another Namule. Uses his leader ability. Shrinks my kid. Now he's trying to take him out with his leader. I counter out of it. And I KO one of his low-cost characters. Alright, here we go. Start off by swinging with my leader. That way I can blow up one of his 8,000s or less. Going in with the Eustace Captain Kidd. And that's game.